Right now, with a major winter storm heading our way, many people get stuck in place, including college students. How some are trying to get out ahead of the storm.
Also, a proposal to change a decades-old zoning law with an aim of improving equity, why some have concerns.
And pharmacies across the country are having a tough time keeping antivirals in stock as the state confirms its first pediatric flu death of the season. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. Some severe winter weather could put a damper on the holidays for some this weekend, especially if you were thinking about traveling.
Yeah, starting tomorrow night, most of southern Wisconsin could be seeing multiple inches of snow, even whiteout conditions. Multiple alert days have already been declared for the area. Let's check your certified most accurate forecast with Julian Seawright. Julian?
Well, that's the one thing we're going to start with is the alert days that are going to be stretching in not just for one day, but 3 days leading into our Christmas holiday. So our winter storm, what about it? Well, there are still some uncertainties with it, but we are looking for the impacts to start to really hit southern Wisconsin and much of the upper Midwest by the time we roll into our Thursday. Now, we could start to see some snow rolling in late Wednesday, but those impacts really won't be significant until we roll into Thursday. Now, heavy snow and high winds are possible. When you mix the two together, we have a result of blizzard-like conditions, which is one of the main reasons why we have the alert days. But outside of that, this isn't going to be a super major snow event. It could accumulate to multiple inches, but it's really the winds and the cold that's going to be really factoring in to hazards on travel for us over the next couple of days. So if you have any plans, definitely take the quiet time we have now and most of tomorrow to make sure that you can do whatever you need to in order to travel safely. Now, taking a look at our winter weather bulletins, well, we have that winter storm warning in effect for areas west of Lone Rock. That's the pink on your screen. That goes in effect from 6 p.m. tomorrow going into Saturday, 6 a.m. For the rest of southern Wisconsin, we're still under winter storm watch, and that'll be from Thursday morning until 6 a.m. Saturday. It's a quiet night, but it is also a cold one. Still looking at temperatures to really drop for overnight hours into the single digits and even colder by the time we're heading out the door for our Wednesday. So we are looking for wind chills that could be pushing into the double digits as we're waking up for our Wednesday morning. We'll talk more about the rest of the week and details of this winter storm in just a few moments. Until then, let's send it back to you guys.
Oh, Julian, thank you. The incoming weather has many UW students bumping their travel plans up a few days because of the storm.
Some have no choice but to stay for finals, while others had professors who accommodated. Armand Rahman caught up with some students as they waited to hop on the coach bus out of town. Armand?
Yeah, Eric and Charlotte, throughout the day, students lined up and down the sidewalk with their suitcases to get on coach buses like the one behind me, and they tell me they weren't waiting to beat the weather and try to get home for the holidays. Many of them actually had to change their flights out of O'Hare so they could leave today. All the students out here had professors who either moved the final up or online, but there are others who will be spending Christmas on campus this year.
My professor was very good about being accommodating. He had the final exam online to accommodate students who had to travel earlier due to the blizzard coming in.
Yeah, I know some who might be trapped here until Christmas. The dorms actually emailed us earlier today saying that if we need to stay longer, we're able to, because they were supposed to lock the 23rd and they just extended that, though.
Now, UW administration said in a statement it's not possible to change the finals period because of the weather and travel plans, but students should contact instructors directly if they have concerns. And for anyone who finds themselves stuck here on campus, officials say they will be allowed to stay past the December 23rd housing closing date. They just have to email Residence Life to make those arrangements. For now, live on UW campus, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Armand, thank you, and we are doing what we can to get you prepared for the storm. There's a special section at channel3000.com with answers we are getting from agencies dealing with keeping you safe, from state patrol staffing to when the plows will be dispatched. Look for the banner at the top of the page. And don't forget to download our First Warn Forecast Weather app before the winter storm hits. You'll be able to track it with hourly forecasts, the latest radar as well. It also has the latest road conditions for those hoping to travel for the holidays. The app is free for download in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather. A proposal proposed zoning change has a number of Madisonians worried about midnight parties next door, but the city says it is a movement to increase equity.
Tahalia Mohideen took a look at the city proposal to change a decades-old zoning law and has more on why some have concerns.
That's right. It's all about how many people who aren't related can live in the same house as renters. In a third of the city, the max is only 2. In an effort to expand affordable and equitable housing, the proposed change would see that cap lifted.
It's a proposal to change a zoning code that's been in place since the 60s.
There's issues of noise. There's trash.
Right now, over 1/3 of the city of Madison doesn't allow more than 2 unrelated renters to live together. But if you own the home that you live in those areas, that limit is 5. The proposal city leaders are considering would change the renting limit to 5 as well, in the name of equity.
We know a way a lot of low-income households try to afford to live somewhere that's expensive like Madison is by splitting the rent.
But people who live in the areas closest to campus, like Regent neighborhood resident Doug Raubel, have some reservations. He says while his community supports the city's goal, many aren't sure they're going about it the right way.
At best, it will not improve accessibility to housing in those areas, and at worst, it will actually make it more expensive.
Instead of low income or people of color, as the city intends, Raubel is worried the change will lead to an influx of students.
I don't want to have a beer party going on next door until midnight.
So he's asking the city to reconsider.
They seem to have some difficulty recognizing that the area around campus and the pressures put on them by student housing are real.
City leaders admit the zoning code was first created to serve that exact purpose, to keep students from taking over. But they're convinced enough has changed since 1966.
Thousands of new apartments being built, many of them student-oriented in our downtown area, and so we think a lot of the pressures that there used to be on adjacent neighborhoods are much less than they once were.
The zoning proposal is set to be heard by the Plan Commission mid-February and the Common Council at the end of that month for consideration.
The DHS is confirming Wisconsin's first pediatric flu death of the season. Officials did not provide any further information about the child, including their age. On Live at 4, UW Health's Dr. Jeff Pothoff says there are lessons to take away from this tragic death.
Big answer there is vaccination, whether children or ourselves, so we're not that person that gives flu to someone else and then gives it to that kid. That's something that we could all do to try to prevent these things from happening.
Across the nation, 30 pediatric flu deaths have been reported this season. Everyone 6 months and older is urged to get the flu vaccine, especially those who are at greater risk of illness, those who are pregnant, people ages 65 and older, and people with chronic health conditions.
Meanwhile, a Tamiflu shortage continues to plague pharmacies across the country due to supply issues. Stores are having a tough time keeping it in stock. According to SSM Health's Dr. David Ottenbaker, could be a while before supplies are back to normal.
In years past, we've had some minor shortages, but nothing like this. And we expect this to be, during the whole influenza season for us, that this is not a 1 or 2 week shortage. This will probably go through the influenza season this year.
Meanwhile, CVS and Walgreens are limiting how much ibuprofen and acetaminophen for children you can buy. For CVS, shoppers can get 2 each. Online orders at Walgreens are limited to 6 over-the-counter pain and fever relief products.
A 66-year-old man is dead after getting shot by police in Milwaukee. Officers claim the man pointed a gun at them. This happened when police responded to an active shooter call this morning. They say they found the suspect in the basement with other people in the building. The suspect pointed his gun at officers. One officer fired his weapon, killing the suspect. That officer has been placed on administrative leave. No officers were hurt in the incident.
A Good Samaritan is being credited with finding a missing baby late last week after a horse attached to a buggy the baby was riding in took off with the baby and buggy in tow. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said the baby's mother had tied the horse and buggy to a pole at a home in the town of Hickory Grove Friday morning. The horse was able to get loose and took off. Roughly an hour and a half later, the Sheriff's Office learned the baby was missing. Erica and Levi Exley found it after joining in the search.
Well, I was telling him I would feel like a hero if we ever did find it, what are the chances? And when we came across it, we have a little one ourselves, so it's just like your heart just drops when you know that there's a baby involved.
First responders checked the infant for any possible injuries before reuniting them with their mother.
When we come back, after being killed in action more than 80 years ago, a Wisconsin World War II sailor's remains are finally identified.
Plus, staying warm and safe for the holidays, what the Madison Fire Department says you need to be aware of. That's ahead at 6.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among our frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun we're having, it's easy to take for granted how we warm up, by the fire or simply adjusting our thermostat. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? It might be simple to imagine for 60 seconds, but for many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. Freezing temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for them, they can be deadly. Make a real difference by providing a hand up for a neighbor in need. No matter the amount, every dollar helps. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
This holiday season at the Century House, give $50 or more to charity and get $200 off any stressless recliner with power, any stressless recliner and ottoman, or any stressless office chair. Or get $200 off each stressless sofa seat or $400 off all stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans in all Paloma leather colors. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
At Chevy, the holidays mean going places and doing things you love to do with friends and family. Visit your local Chevy dealer, and when you find your red tag, you find your deal. Then make the most of your time with the people who matter most. Find new moments, find new roads. Find your red tag and get $1,500 total cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $2,500 cash allowance. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. With the cold temperatures, many are looking to stay warm, of course, and the Madison Fire Department has some tips to keep you safe as well. Bill Sullivan, a fire protection engineer, says they see an increase in fires from heating systems, candles, and electrical devices. He says candles are the leading cause of house fires this time of the year. As for fireplaces, Sullivan says one of the most important things is properly disposing of the ashes.
You see a bigger issue with people think that they're out and it might be a spark hidden in it. Then they go out and they put it in their garbage can, and that spark can last in there for several hours before it ignites some other products in the garbage.
And you should also have your fireplace cleaned out once a year.
A Wisconsin World War II sailor killed in the attack on Pearl Harbor has been accounted for. Navy Seaman Second Class David J. Riley of Judah was actually identified on February 24th last year, but his family only recently received their full briefing on his identification. On December 7th, 1941, Riley was assigned to the USS Oklahoma when it was attacked. The battleship suffered multiple torpedo hits, causing it to capsize, resulting in the deaths of 429 crewmen, including Riley. Riley will be buried on May 27th in Judah.
Still ahead, News 3 Now's 12 Days of Giving continues to give back to the community.
After the break, meet a grandmother who left everything behind down south to come up and raise her grandson, and how News 3 Now stepped in to give her a little help.
Plus, the very latest on those alert days for heavy snow and high winds. Your complete forecast when we come back.
Sometimes a cough isn't just a cough, so it's better to be prepared. Binax Now gives you reliable results in 15 minutes and detects multiple variants, including Omicron BA.5. Binax Now, the #1 COVID-19 self-test in the U.S.
The holidays can be so stressful. So give the gift of wellness. Buy $100 in Massage Envy gift cards and receive a free $20 promo card. Keep your body working.
The holidays are for making memories, and you can count on Honda to help you make them. Whether it's in a capable Ridgeline, adventurous CRV, a rugged Passport, or a dynamic Pilot. Start making memories of your own with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
End the year
right with new furniture during Steinhoffel's year-end sale. Get store-wide savings of 35 to 50%. And with Steinhoffel's 72-month financing, your new furniture and mattresses are more affordable than ever. Steinhoffel's has something for every style and budget. Now's the time to save big on your new furniture, mattresses, and home decor. Shop in-store at our beautiful showrooms or shop from home online at steinhoffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhoffel's.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
There's no place like home for the holidays, but it isn't quite the same when your house is cold and drafty. We want everyone to have the gift of a warm and comfortable home. So we're going to match the $500 energy tax credit with a $500 discount. But you have to call us before December 31st. 2023 is the year to stop freezing and start saving. So give yourself the gift that keeps on giving, because you keep saving.
USA Insulation.
Sometimes a cough isn't just a cough, so it's better to be prepared. Binax Now gives you reliable results in 15 minutes and detects multiple variants, including Omicron BA.5. Binax Now, the #1 COVID-19 self-test in the U.S.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
A car to a Ukrainian family, furniture for a family's home, a massive food pantry donation, and we're only getting started. Our News 3 Now 12 Days of Giving continues tonight.
And our Andrew Banstra helped spread the holiday spirit and is in studio with the story. Andrew?
A few years back, Marnie Schroeder left the Wisconsin cold for Florida beaches. She started a new life, but when her grandson needed a caretaker, she traded her flip-flops for snowshoes. She'd already raised her own kids and hadn't prepared to raise more, and that's where News 3 Now stepped in to help.
Picking up the pieces as a newly single grandmother, Marnie Schroeder asked for our help. And after all, baby Javari needed a good spot to watch his afternoon Paw Patrol.
A couch would be really nice. It's kind of tore up.
She's already been down this road. Daycare, clothes, school, the works. This time, though, she didn't expect to be in this situation.
Well, I came back from Florida. I mean, I love Florida weather. I came back to Wisconsin strictly for him. Left a good job, left a vehicle, left a lot of my stuff down there just to get back here in time so he didn't go in the system.
So with the help from Don's Home Furniture, News 3 Now sprung into action.
Hello. We heard you're in need of a sofa for the holidays.
Yes.
Mama, for me?
Yeah, for you.
Oh, my Mom.
Is that a new couch?
Yeah.
Javari, why don't you jump on the couch, man? Let's see what you got.
Okay, we got it.
I probably could have chosen my words more carefully, but hey, it's the holidays. And while 3-year-old Javari loves his new throne, what's Christmas without some presents?
Yeah.
What is that?
Like a cup.
You know, I think when you hear that somebody in the community that we are so supported by is in need of help, you do everything you can. And luckily, what we had and what she needed just happened to work out, and we're happy to provide her with what we have.
For Marnie, this is her holiday miracle.
It's nice to be able to have people come in and be thankful for what, you know, was overwhelming. It was very nice.
But we couldn't leave before Javari gave each of us a hug.
Oh, he's gonna give.
Which ended up being a few hugs. In Sun Prairie, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Now.
Tomorrow, News 3 Now and SSM Health's 12 Days of Giving continues as we sprinkle holiday joy on a young mother, a single mother of 3.
Andrew, thank you. Never tell him to jump on the couch. Yeah. Multiple alert days in the forecast leading up to Christmas. And here's Julian with the latest.
That's right. So we're going to get right into our alert days for us. Now, this is a very complex system, so we're going to try to break down the complexities as simple as possible. One of them is to be proactive, not reactive to what's going to be starting to develop over time for us. So our alert day is going in from Thursday to Saturday. We're looking at heavy snow, high winds together, which could result in in some possible blizzard conditions for the upper Midwest and parts of southern Wisconsin as we get into our Thursday afternoon and night, and especially for our Saturday as well. So we're looking at our headlines being for winter storm warning just west of Lone Rock, going in effect from 6 p.m. Wednesday into Saturday at 6 a.m. And for us, we're still into a winter storm watch, which will be issued from 6 a.m. Thursday into Saturday morning. But what we're going to be watching for is that if you have any plans or anything that you need to be prepared to probably just stay home for the next couple of days, well, tomorrow is going to be the time to do it. It's going to be quiet, but it will be bitterly cold. Well, as we're waking up Wednesday, temperatures will be below zero. Looking at 2 degrees below zero here in Madison. Cloud cover is going to take hold, and once we get to lunchtime, we're not going to be having many opportunities to warm up. Single digits will still rule southern Wisconsin for us, and we'll start to see the developments of snow coming in later into our Wednesday. It's going to be light snow initially. Once we get into around 8 o'clock, we're going to start to see that snow start to be a bit more widespread. But for the 5 p.m. commute, things are still going to be rather quiet, so we're not looking for, in terms of any travel issues from the weather, to really be impactful. Now, overnight, we're going to start to see that snow still be light, but start to pick up once we head into our Thursday, where we are going to be looking at occasional and multiple rounds of light and heavy snow throughout our Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, and especially heading into our Thursday night. Now, we are looking for Thursday night into Friday morning to be where we're starting to see a bit of that tapering off, but then the snow's not going to be much of the issue. It will be the winds coming in from the northwest, which is going to be dropping temperatures even more, and on top of it, be sustaining and blowing that snow, which will cause travel hazards once again. So if you have any travel plans, make sure that, or even just getting groceries, make sure that you're going to be doing it before Thursday afternoon, because once we get into the evening hours and transitioning into Friday, well, things are not going to be optimal or favorable in any shape or form and could be rather dangerous. In terms of snow accumulations, we are still looking to see between 6 to 9. Some areas could see a closer to around 4 to 5 inches, and that'll be closer towards the Illinois state line, but we are looking for that snow to linger just a bit more and some heavier snowfall rates. We could see those 6 inches pushing maybe even around 7. But as we take a look at the winds, when will that start to really be a factor for us? Once we get into our Thursday evening, around the 5 p.m. commute, or even for around dinner time, wind speeds will start to pick up from the 30 to 40 miles per hour range and even around 50 miles per hour once we get into our Friday morning. And it is going to be sustained over that time period as well. Wind chills, once again, will be a big factor as we're going to be looking at double digits from 10 to 20 to even potentially 30 degrees below zero of what it feels like. And since we are seeing those sustained winds, we could have potentials of blizzard warnings for us here in southern Wisconsin and for areas in the upper Midwest. So make sure, once again, that you have your plan ready to go and that you have any kind of safe routes for you as well, because if you are traveling, you're going to need that safety kit as we get into the rest of the events. But once we're done with the events, heading into Christmas, it will be cold, but at least we're not going to be looking at snow falling, but it still could be blowing as we are having breezier conditions throughout the weekend. The next week, we will finally have a breath because we're looking to be back to seasonable temperatures, guys.
Well, the playoff hunt continues for the Packers after picking up their 6th win of the season last night. We're going to hear number 12's take on the Pat McAfee Show when we return.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to Power Swabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. Power Swabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stain caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, Power Swabs can target that area using swab precision.
My favorite thing about the Power Swabs is that I was actually able to take the swab and really get through some of those areas that are kind of like untreated. I felt like I can immediately see the results, and I'm like, oh, I'm definitely starting to see the shades getting brighter and brighter, or whiter and whiter.
If you have yellowing between your teeth, if you have coffee or tea stains near your gum line, Just snap, swab, and smile. And in each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays and start using the Power Swabs 5-minute solution.
After just 7 days, the results were awesome. Power Swabs was easy to use every day, and each day I could see it better and better, and from beginning to end, it's definitely whiter. And they look clean, they feel clean, and people have made comments about it, which is nice.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. This holiday season, order Power Swabs and receive up to 40% off. And as an added bonus, get a free Power Swabs Quick Stick Pen with your order. The Quick Stick Pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 40% on your purchase and your free Quick Stick Pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-550-5543.
Tomorrow morning, find out how you can help give the gift of life. We'll have a preview of the Red Cross Holiday Blood Drive in the 608.
And alert days are in the forecast for heavy snow, high winds, and possible whiteout conditions. We're tracking it from 4:30 to 7.
Since the Packers won back-to-back games this season, but hey, they got it done last night against the Rams for their second win in a row, which of course keeps their chances of making the playoffs alive. Carrying the Packers to their 6th win of the season, it's the dynamic duo of A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. Dillon with huge impacts on short yardage. He had 36 rushing yards, but he finds the end zone twice, while Jones hauls in the Pack's only receiving touchdown. A primetime performance that number 12 is very happy about.
It was a must-win for us. It was a game we should have won at home against a team that hasn't had a great season. So, you know, for us, it's a good step. You know, we expect to win those type of games, even though we've obviously had up and down season, a little frustrating at times. But it sets us up for more meaningful games.
And it's going to be a quick turnaround for the Pack. They head to Miami to face the Dolphins on Christmas Day. Green Bay heads to the Sunshine State with back-to-back wins, while the Finns are riding a 3-game skid. This will also be the first time facing one another since the 2018 season. And it's official, Jonathan Taylor is being put on the injured reserve, which means he'll miss the rest of the season. The former Badger heads to the IR with a high ankle sprain. He ends the year with 861 rushing yards with 4 scores, and on the receiving end, he had 28 catches for 143 yards. Badger men's basketball returns to action on Friday against Grambling State, and in celebration of 125 years of the program, the team is naming Trayvon Hughes as its honorary captain. Hughes spent 3 seasons at UW, where he played in 132 games. 100 of those he started. He also ranks 21st in program history for all-time points with 1,330. And with the weather moving through this week, the women's team has moved up its game with Valpo on Thursday. Tip-off is now set for noon at the Kohl Center. Badgers hoping to move back in the win column after a double-digit loss to in-state rival UW Green Bay last week.
A lot of teams moving games and events this week because weather is coming our way.
That's right. So we got to be prepared for it. Luckily, we do have another day and a half until things start to get a bit messy. So just a reminder, Wednesday will be fine for the most part, but Wednesday nights we'll start to see the movement of light snow. And then throughout Thursday, that light snow will continue until about the evening hours. Then the wind and heavy snow will roll in. And then Friday and Saturday is just chalked up to you not moving from wherever you are.
We will heed the advice. Thank you.
Hunker down. Julian, thank you. And thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.